So we grow up with a lot of distortion, we grow up with a lot of cognitive dissonance, we grow up believing a lot of these abusive things to be normal and okay, because it was normalized and rationalized by the narcissistic parents, their flying monkeys, their enablers. So it becomes very difficult, and as a result of which we keep attracting toxic individuals in our life, and we keep getting into codependent relationships, yeah, where we are simply dependent on the partner for their validation, approval, appreciation, and that's what makes us feel good. I'm not saying that validations are bad, I'm not saying appreciations are bad, but you need to develop a sense of self. You need to develop yourself, the way how a healthy adult grows up to be. Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the different ways emotional incest impacts the personal life of these adult children of narcissistic parent. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So let us briefly understand what emotional incest is. Emotional incest is when the narcissistic parent seeks emotional support and validation from their child, yeah, whereas in they should ideally seek it from an adult or from their partner. Yeah, when they start seeking all of the emotional stuff from their children, whether it is emotional support or validation. Yeah, so this phenomena is known as emotional incest. Yeah, whereas in the child becomes a pseudo partner for the narcissistic parent. Yeah, ideally we seek attention, emotional support, validation from our age group. When we are in relationship, we expect it from our partner or some other adult friend or whatsoever. We don't reach out to small little kids for validation and emotional support because they are kids. Yeah, they are not adult, they cannot give us what we are looking for. We are looking for a support, we are looking for an emotional support, a mature emotional support. Can the kid provide that? The answer is no. But do these narcissistic parents care? The answer is no. They lack empathy, they are entitled individuals, and they feel that it's okay to seek emotional support and validation from the child. Yeah, if they are not getting it from the other parent or the partner, it's okay to expect it from the child. Narcissistic parents really don't care about the consequences, as to what happens with these kids because of this emotional incest. There is a lot of problem that happens later in life for these adult children of narcissistic parent, but narcissistic parents really don't care. Yeah, they get into relationship for a purpose and reason, they breed for a purpose and reason, and that's it. As long as you are able to give them what they want out of you, everything is okay. The moment they see you are not able to give them what they want out of you, they are going to discard you. They are going to make sure that you understand or you have this realization as to what is expected out of you. And if you don't give them what is expected out of you, you are not going to get love and affection, you are not going to get attention, you are not going to get those tiny bit of breadcrumbs that you had been misunderstanding for love. Yeah, all of that will be confiscated and withheld. So, I mean, this is how narcissistic relationships are. So, emotional incest damages the child in a lot of ways. Yeah, so in this video, we are going to, try and understand, the different ways emotional incest impacts the, adult children of narcissistic parents. Yeah, and the different ways emotional incest influences and impacts the relationship. Yeah, in the lives of these adult children of narcissistic parents. The first way emotional incest impacts the lives of adult children of narcissistic parent is, you know, in difficulty having boundaries. So adult children of narcissistic parents, because of all that, unhealthy, coverted emotional enmeshment, they really don't understand, what boundary is. and as a result of which they are unable to establish healthy boundaries. They really don't know where to draw the line. Yeah, because they were parentified at an early age, they were treated like a spouse from a very young age. They really don't know how much they need to share or express, where they need to draw the boundary, where they need to stop. They are unaware of all of that, and as a result of which they have difficulty in establishing boundaries. All the time they are scared. What if I say no? What if I do this? What if I do that? She might get hurt, he might get hurt. Yeah, so they are really scared. They are scared of conflict, they are scared of any kind of um, disagreement. They are scared of displeasing the narcissist, yeah, or any other individual. And as a result of which, you know these individuals, adult children of narcissistic parents, they are in a very vulnerable position. Yeah, they really don't know where to draw the line. They really don't know how much they need to withhold, or how much they need to share. And they are just like open book. They were never groomed and trained, yeah, to develop and become a healthy individual. They were bred for a purpose and reason, and they were parentified at a young age. So yes, having boundary is a very big problem, or you can say is very challenging for these adult children of narcissistic parents. They never grew up with an understanding of boundaries. They really don't know the worth and value of having boundaries, and as a result of which they get into very complicated situation and relationships. Yeah, and they do suffer, yeah, because of this lack of having boundaries or ability to have healthy boundaries. They get into a lot of complications, mess, problems. And the credit goes to the narcissistic parent, because narcissistic parents are running all over their kids and spouse. Yeah, it's all about them, and that's it. Narcissistic parents really don't appreciate boundaries, privacy, or space. Yeah, and they shame their kids whenever the kids try and uphold boundaries. Whenever the kid demands space and privacy, narcissistic parents shame them. Yeah, so as a result of which the kids you know then don't get into the boundary business. They are like, okay, this is my father, this is my mother. Boundary is not good. Yeah, because every time they tried upholding boundary, they were labeled as mean and selfish, and those labels don't feel good. Yeah, and as a result of which the kid learns that I don't need to be mean and selfish. If I demand privacy, space, if I uphold boundaries, that is something which a mean person does. That is something which a selfish person does. I don't want to be that. Yeah, and as a result of which they are simply not into using boundaries. Yeah, and as a result of which they attract a lot of toxic individuals. They get into a lot of mess. Now the question is, does the narcissistic parents care? The answer is no. It's all about them. As long as they are getting the supply, you know uh, everything is fine. The moment they see the kids are unable to give them, that's a concern. That becomes a problem. The next way emotional incest impacts the personal life of adult children of narcissistic parent is by making these adult children very vulnerable or prone to codependent relationships. They were groomed and raised by giving all those breadcrumbs, yeah, in forms of validation or tiny bit of appreciation, and they simply get addicted to that pattern. Yeah, and as a result of which they get into codependent relationships where they keep looking out for validation. If they are not validated, they feel worthless. Yeah, so they need that attention, validation, and appreciation from their partner. Yeah, otherwise they will feel lonely, disoriented, or lost. Yeah, so because of that emotional incest, these kids, they really don't know how a healthy relationship should be. Yeah, and as a result of which they get into codependent relationships. Yeah, and the entire focus in the relationship is to get validation, to get approval and appreciation from the other person. Yeah, these kids have inability to distinguish good from bad. They really think that everything is good and everything is okay. Yeah. Because they did not grow up in a healthy and regulated family. Their parents were not healthy and regulated and emotionally mature. Their parents were narcissistic, and when we are raised by narcissistic parents, we grow up with great deal of cognitive dissonance. We grow up believing that a lot of abusive things are okay, it's normal, it's in every family. Yeah, so these kind of problems we have. So we grow up with a lot of distortion, we grow up with a lot of cognitive dissonance. We grow up believing a lot of these abusive things to be normal and okay, because it was normalized and rationalized by the narcissistic parents, their flying monkeys, their enablers. So it becomes very difficult, and as a result of which we keep attracting toxic individuals in our life, and we keep getting into codependent relationships, yeah, where we are simply dependent on the partner for their validation, approval, appreciation, and that's what makes us feel good. I'm not saying that validations are bad, I'm not saying appreciations are bad, but you need to develop a sense of self. You need to develop yourself, the way how a healthy adult grows up to be. You simply cannot keep seeking validation from any random people. You cannot keep seeking a validation and approval of those who are unable to give you healthy feedback, or who can treat you right. You cannot expect validation and approval from people who are disabled in their head, who are disabled emotionally. You can't expect all of that from those individuals. But because of this emotional incest, we simply keep seeking validation and approval from others. Yeah, our entire life purpose is to survive and live on validation and approval and appreciation. And the same thing we expect from our partners. Yeah, our partner should validate, our partner should appreciate, our partner should see us and hear us, and only then I'm existent. Yeah, if my partner is not seeing me, listening me, or validating me, there's something wrong with me. Please understand. Yeah, so this is what happens because of emotional incest. Life is all about validation, approval, appreciation. Okay, I'm alive, I'm me, I'm Sarah. But if I'm not getting all of that from my partner, there's something wrong with me. I'll go into a kind of a spiral where I'll keep thinking, I'll keep monitoring my partner's emotion, I'll keep over explaining, I'll keep overdoing things. Yeah, because that's what I had been surviving on, yeah, from past. Yeah, my parents used to give me tiny bit of crumbs, validation, appreciation, or whatsoever, and that's how I had been surviving since childhood. And I did not get to see what healthy looks like, and I attracted a dysfunctional partner. So I keep seeking the same thing from my partner. Yeah, so things really get distorted and messed up when you are raised by narcissistic parents. The next way emotional incest impacts the lives of adult children of narcissistic parent is these adults have a lot of low self-esteem and self-worth issues. Yeah, because the narcissistic parent was emotionally absent, there was lots of emotional neglect, and as a result of which the kid is hungry for attention, the kid is hungry for validation. Yeah, and in order to fill that void, they simply get hold of anyone and everyone. Yeah, even though if the person is toxic, dysfunctional, narcissistic, antagonistic, that hardly matters. They want to be seen and heard. They want to fill in that void that was created by the emotional neglect, yeah, by their narcissistic parent. So these kids by default have these low self-esteem and low self-worth issue because of constant gaslighting, invalidation, minimization. They were unable to develop self-worth and self-esteem. Yeah, they were unable to develop a sense of self, and as a result of which, in their adult life, they keep attracting negative people. And they keep attracting negative people because they want to fill in the void. Yeah, and the void was emotional neglect. Their emotions were never valued, their emotions were never addressed, their emotions were, you know um, never cared for. Yeah, it was all about the narcissistic parents' feelings, emotions. Yeah, so there is a kind of a void inside of these adult children, and they want to fill it. Yeah, so they, get into relationships, they make friends, so that somehow that void is filled, they are seen and heard. Yeah, their emotion and feelings are, heard and cared for. But they simply land up, being in relationship with dysfunctional individuals, toxic friends, and the cycle goes on. Yeah, because adult children of narcissistic parents are really desperate. Yeah, they want their emotions and feelings to be addressed to. They want someone to, be there emotionally for them. Yeah, because their narcissistic parents were not there. Their narcissistic parents groomed them to, keep serving them and not the other way around. So in order to fill that space, in order to fill that void, they keep getting into some kind of dysfunctionality and mess. Yeah. The other way emotional incest impacts the lives of adult children of narcissistic parent is by making it very difficult for these adult children to, trust and believe others. It is very difficult because they have been betrayed by their parent, and they know how things are. It's very unpredictable. They know, how things were in their narcissistic household, how none of the promises were ever kept, and how they had to face the fury and rage of the narcissistic parent. So as a result of which, it gets very difficult for these adult children of narcissistic parents to trust others. Yeah, they have a lot of doubt inside of themselves. Yeah, because they were unable to trust their narcissistic parents. Yeah, we know narcissists are unpredictable individuals. Yeah, it's all about them. Narcissists are, very bad in keeping promises. Yeah, and they can betray you anytime. Yeah, so as a result of all that betrayal, as a result of not keeping promises, not upholding boundaries, constant gaslighting, these kids find it very difficult to trust others. Yeah, they have inability to trust others, and this is because since childhood they had been betrayed. They had been, growing and developing in a very chaotic, unpredictable environment, so things are very distorted for them. Yeah, plus the emotional incest, it becomes very difficult for them to trust and believe others. Yeah? The other way emotional incest impacts the, lives of adult children of narcissistic parent is, these children, I mean the adult children of narcissistic parent, they have issues related to intimacy. Yeah, because they know whenever they tried opening up, or whenever they were emotional with their parents, and they expressed or they shared their vulnerabilities, all of it was misused. Yeah, so as a result of which, they are very closeted. They really don't like, sharing more about themselves. Yeah, and as a result of which, these individuals are unable to form, deep connection, intimate connection, or they have difficulty in forming intimate relationships. Yeah, because they are scared. Yeah, what if I say this and she's going to shame me? What if I say this and he's going to shame me? So and this is because of the childhood. Yeah, whenever the kid tried, being himself, or whenever the kid expressed or shared something, all of his vulnerabilities, weakness was used against him. Yeah, guilt tripping, shaming, yeah. And as a result of which the kid is really scared. He grows up to be a scared adult. He really doesn't want to share his vulnerabilities, weakness, or anything that is inside of him. Yeah, he or she fears being judged, shamed. Yeah, and the kid really doesn't want to, go through that. So, these individuals, adult children of narcissists, have, problems forming, deep connections, relationships, and intimate relationships. The other impact of emotional incest is people pleasing behavior. So these adult children of narcissistic parents, being a victim of emotional incest, they tend to become, you can say, more of a people pleaser type. Yeah, because we know life is like walking on eggshells in a narcissistic household. Yeah, so the kids were raised to, betray their own self and serve and validate and appreciate the narcissistic parent. The kids were, raised to prioritize the narcissistic parent and not themselves. Yeah, and as a result of which they keep replicating the same thing in every relationship or connections. Yeah, so adult children of narcissistic parents who are victim of emotional incest tend to become people pleasers. They want to avoid any kind of conflict because they know what conflict looks like: chaos, drama, love and affection vanishing in thin air, scapegoating, yeah, stonewalling, silent treatment. They don't want all of that. They want some amount of peace, calm, and harmony. And as a result of which, they simply comply. They simply get into people pleasing business, yeah, to keep peace and to, feel a little purposeful, yeah, because that's what their purpose was since childhood, to please the narcissistic parent. So the same programming, kicks in whenever they are with the others, that I need to prioritize him, I need to prioritize her, I need to betray myself. And that's how it is. I need to avoid conflict at all costs, and I need to keep, making them happy. I need to keep pleasing them. Yeah, my duty is to please them and not to please myself. Yeah, so all of that programming kicks in, and some of them, spend their entire life, being people pleasers, and it is very painful. But we know, world is a complicated place, and I really don't say that it's bad. I mean, whatever works for you, but you should always, look out for, the healthy stuff. You should always look out for a healthy lifestyle, a healthy life. Yeah, where you can be yourself, where you don't have to carry the burden, where you can, unburden yourself and be a free bird. Yeah, so whatever works for whoever. I mean, I'm no one to comment on that, but yes, people pleasing hurts. I know it's, something which is coming from the childhood, but it makes you lose a lot more. Yeah, so I mean, if you are into people pleasing, or if you have such tendencies, do look into it, and do think about it. It is most probably because of your childhood, the way how you were conditioned and trained. And you will never be happy if you are into this people pleasing business, because every time you are unable to please someone, you will feel bad, you will feel extremely responsible. Yeah, and you will tend to do more, even if it's burning you out on the inside. You will keep on doing more and more and more in hopes that you are going to please the other person. And god forbid, if you are in relationship with a narcissist, uh, you are going to, burn yourself more. So yes, people pleasing behavior is also the result of emotional incest. The other way emotional incest impacts the adult children of narcissistic parents is that these adult children have inability to express their emotions in the right way. They were never allowed to, express their emotions. Their emotions was invalidated. They were gaslit in return. Yeah, they were minimized, and in some of the families they were antagonized also. So, they learned to keep everything to themselves. Yeah, they were never allowed to inculcate emotional intelligence. Yeah, they were never allowed to, explore their emotion and express their emotion in healthy way. Yeah, they were, only trained to silence their emotion and feeling, likes and desire and thought, and keep serving the narcissistic parent mindlessly. So as a result of which, in their adult relationship, adult, connections, these individuals, have inability to express their emotion. Yeah, they might feel something, but they might, land up saying something else. They might express themselves in a wrong way. They might be misunderstood. Yeah, so, adult children of narcissistic parents, get into a lot of malapropism. Yeah, I mean, wrong things, wrong place. They are feeling something else, but they are expressing it in a wrong way. Yeah, so a lot of, distortion is there. They are unable to express what they feel. They are unable to express things in a healthy way. Yeah, either they are, judged, or they are misunderstood, or they are simply, shunned, or they are simply invalidated. They were unable to develop emotional intelligence, and as a result of which, um, expressing emotion, navigating emotion is something which is very problematic and challenging for them, and most of the time they are misunderstood. And the last way emotional incest impacts the adult children of narcissistic parents is that these adult children of narcissistic parents, they keep repeating the cycle. Yeah, um, if they did not get into relationship with a healthy and a regulated individual, if they have got hold of some unhealthy, toxic, narcissistic individual, the cycle is going to keep on repeating. Yeah, knowingly, unknowingly, they will keep on, making their kids also experience and, go through the same shit they have gone through. Yeah, so someone has to put a full stop. Someone has to break the generational curse. Someone has to, sit, think, heal, reparent one's own self, and then go about, getting into relationship and having kids. Yeah, someone has to put a full stop to that never ending cycle. Because in narcissistic families, we grow up believing, a lot of abusive things to be normal and okay. Every relationship has fights, every relationship has emotional manipulation, every relationship has invalidation, every relationship has gaslighting, every relationship has silent treatment, passive aggressive, responses. Every relationship has, some amount of toxicity, and we are conditioned and made to believe that it's absolutely okay. If somebody abuses you, it's absolutely okay. It happens in every relationship. My grandmother was also abused, I am also abused, and so what if my daughter is abused? That's the part of every relationship. Yeah, that's what relationship is made up of: abuse, praise, and everything. It's an amalgamation of all good and bad stuff. But that's not the case. We need to understand. Yeah, someone has to take the charge, take the control, and break the generational curse. So yes, this was it. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself, and keep working on yourself. Keep doing the deep dive. Yeah, till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.